Hi, it's me, Ro, author of Speaking from Spirit, and I hope that everybody is healthy and safe. Here is your May 2020 energy alert. So, May is a 9-month in a 4 global year. It's a time for completions and endings, and whatever ends or leaves this month is supposed to, whether we want it to or not. Try and remember this if it is an ending that you didn't expect or that you don't want. It is making way for something new and something better, something that you may not see. As with any ending, there is also always a morning, so make sure you give yourself time to feel that. The collective soul consciousness has really undergone a huge shift. This month may reflect what our consciousness was, not what is now our new consciousness. So pain bodies are being released, and pain bodies are like the reality still, but they're being released. The reality hasn't yet caught up to that. This month is going to be more reflective of what was or what used to be than what will be. Again, the collective soul conscious has been upgraded. So we know that whatever we live, we have somehow attracted or manifested or created in some way, some mostly subconscious way. And that if our pain bodies are strong in our subconscious, that's what we experience. And if our soul consciousness is strong, that's what we experience. So that's going to be finishing up this month of what was, and a new soul consciousness is coming forward. June is a 1 month in a 4 global year, and that month is going to be more about new beginnings. So let's hope that this virus got the memo that this is a month of completion. Either way, I believe that the immediate health crisis will be behind us this month, and that we're going to find a way to go forward and begin to emerge from this. As the medical field begins to understand this disease more and how it affects people and how it affects people differently and how it is spread and how it mutates and how it can be treated, and I do believe that there'll be more than one treatment option or treatment method, that the severity of those getting infected and the death rate will both decline, meaning the severity of the illness in people and the death rate is, my feeling, going to decline. Starting this month, I think we're going to begin to have more control over understanding this disease and how it works and how it progresses and how to treat it, not necessarily getting rid of the disease. Remember that all the greatest minds around the world are working on collaborating on getting this all together. It is receiving everybody that can help this their full attention. So it may not be the end of the virus, but it may be an ending to the crisis that it has caused worldwide. Remember that whatever comes to an end this month is supposed to. So some things are going to end, right? Some things are going to want to close. Some things are going to have run their course. Some things are going to change. Some things are, trying to finish up. Whether, again, this is a job, whether this is a relationship, whether this is the way you used to work as opposed to now how we work or how we're going to work, whether this is a way of life, a partnership of some kind, a habit, a mindset, a group or community that you used to be connected to, whatever's supposed to go is going to go. It is making way for something new, something better than you can imagine. And you need to trust your spirit on that. You need to trust that that is what is happening, whether you can see it or not. So a space is being created for something new to birth, something from our unconscious, subconscious mind, from the soul mind of us. And you know, what does the soul mind know how to create? It knows how to create and attract and manifest ease, peace, joy, harmony, love, support, abundance, prosperity, unity. That's all it knows how to create. So you might not see what that is yet. You might not even feel what that is yet because it's beyond your vision, but it's being planted in that subconscious to come forward. It is a big shift this month. It's going to be a big shift in the whole paradigm, not just ours individually, not just the United States, but the whole world. Some people might feel that, but not understand that, but it's coming. And it's going to show up gradually through the months and even through the years. This world event was here to change this world for the better. So I'm going to pull some cards with that, and I'm going to start with the Spirit Animal Oracle cards by Colette Baron Reed. And I'm going to see what animal spirit wants to speak to us and tell us a message for this month of May. So and I had some that fell. Well, usually we consider them jumping, but there's too many. So, Wombat Spirit, be at home. Oh, really? Really, Wombat? Be at home. Let's see. Burying deep into the ground, remaining safe, sound, and well-fed with family is a special trait of the wombat. Home sweet home is always available if you recognize that well-being is the truth of life. Wombat Spirit reminds you that to be truly at home in the world, you need to find comfort within your own skin. You do this by accepting all your experience without judgment through a deep honesty and love of life. When you feel the freedom to be yourself, you can begin to truly feel at home in your life, with your family, and with your tribe. Right now, you're in a beautiful place where you can hang up the coat of your identity and settle into the true sense of home and well-being, understanding that all is well. Everything you do from this place rings true in harmony with Spirit. So this card, not necessarily about being home, but yes, that's true, is about finding our comfort in our own being. All our methods, a lot of our methods, not all of them, but a lot of our methods of self-soothing or distraction have been taken away, and we're left with our own little selves. And so here's a chance to kind of make peace with that, or get deeper insight into ourselves, or to understand why we do the things we do in a better way. So I always felt like this sequestering time was exactly for that, like a time of reflection. But what I am also noticing too is that the more we're home, the more we are getting our energy back. Even though we're kind of fatigued and drained, we're kind of not spreading it all over. We're not distracted running here, going there, doing this. Albeit some of those things are fun, like going to the movies and going out to dinner. But they take a lot of our energy. And here we're being told to sit still and kind of hold our energy here to ourselves. So it gets its potency back. It gets its strength back. We get our power back in our energetic field. I have to say, I hear, when I'm doing a reading with clients, I kind of hear that strength in them and that power in their energy and vibration. And I think it's because we're not all over the place. So this wombat is saying, we're going to get comfortable in our own skin, and therefore it's going to reflect in our own world. The next deck of cards I'm going to pull from are The Fairies by Doreen Virtue here. I'm going to see what she says. Oh, why do I act like I don't need my glasses? awakening your true self. All right, kind of goes with what the wombat says about being at home with ourselves, our true selves, our undyed, unmanicured, ungroomed selves. We're being made to become more comfortable with that instead of the kind of facade of the self that we put out that isn't necessarily our authentic self. As if a cloud has lifted from your mind and heart, you're beginning to see life from the perspective of your old self. You just went through a period where you gave up who you are to please another person. You buried your interests, ignored your friends, and tried to fit into another person's lifestyle. Now your old self is emerging. You're back. As you uncover your authentic self, your life and your personality are going through big changes. Hold tight and allow these changes to occur. The fairies ask you to trust that the part of your life and personality that are falling away are inauthentic and false. Know that you're building a solid foundation of truth and that everything is working out perfectly right now. Okay, so again, authenticity. So we're definitely in simpler times, no? We are back to basics. In a lot of ways, again, we're not distracted. We're not identified by our job titles or who we think we are, right? I am a this, I am a that. We're kind of finding that we're none of those things. Those are things we do, but we're none of those things. We're not a bank account. We're not a job. We are not a hair color. We are not a status. We are not a bank account. And these are things that are very much of spirit of the seventh chakra kind of knowing we're all one, but yet we're still all unique and perfect. And so all that's being kind of stripped away. So we have to deal with our own self. Like, who am I if I'm not those things? If I'm not being those things, if I'm not acting in that way? And so this awakening is bringing us back to our truth or our roots, so to speak. And maybe making us know ourselves on a whole other level. I was just saying to someone, Spirit had told me this way in the beginning that part of this, and again, this being a spiritual intervention, not an act of evil, this being a spiritual intervention, was about a lot to do with how we live our life and what brings us safety, security, and support. So how many of us pick a job because it is going to give us safety, security, and support, or benefits, or structure? And that a lot of us pick our jobs based on what how we think it will make us look, that we think it's the right thing, that we think it'll give us security, that we think it's the right thing to do, right? And my operative word here is think. But our soul self knows the vocation that we are called to do, because we have talents, gifts, skills, and abilities for that we came in with a unique set of archetypes that help us to do that kind of work, that we would be compensated and valued, and we would live authentically if we choose our work from our soul as opposed to what we think, or what we think our work choice will bring us. So this is definitely being shown here as something that has to be changed. Many of us choose our work not because we say, my soul brought me to it, I this is what I have to do, or what I feel compelled to do in this world. And again, do, not be, do. I feel that this is my right, authentic way of spending my 8 or 10 or 4 hours a day in contribution to this world and getting compensated for my talents, gifts, skills, ability, most of all for my time and my effort. Most of us choose jobs from a very different place. What is expected from us, what is acceptable within our families, what we think will bring us the most safety or security, what will provide benefits, what will give us freedom, what will allow us to feel like we're somebody, you know. And so, but none of those are true reasons. Those are all thoughts and maybe egoic reasons. But the soul knows what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to work in this world. So, to me, this has been a real eye-opening awakening for that. And I'm assured by Spirit that there's going to be a lot of shifts in people's work and how they work, and also a greater compensation and a greater safety, security, and structure being made when you work authentic to your soul. Meaning, you'll still have benefits. You'll still have sick days. You will still get a 401k. You will still be able to do all those things because you'll be guided to how to do that. So in whatever work that you choose. So let's see that. Now, let's go to my last deck of cards. We got the Law of Attraction. Pick a good one here. I can create castles as easily as buttons. Oh, okay. When you understand the laws, then you understand that it is not more difficult to create a castle than it is to create a button. They are equal. It is not more difficult to create $10 than it is to create 10 million. It is the same application of the same law to two different intentions. Did you hear what that said? You could create anything you want. You can create it fast or slow. You can create it instantaneously. You can create, it's no harder to create a cup of tea than it is to create a clean house or to create a car of your dreams or a partner of your dreams. They're all just creations. The universe does not say this one's harder, this one's easier. This says this one's harder or this is easier. This says it's impossible or it's doable. This says feel it and I can and we can bring it forward. So these cards, authenticity, what does your spirit want? That's your destiny. It is not your fate. And this card affirming, create a way, create whatever you want. Nothing is impossible. And the more you can believe that, the easier the manifestation is, or the instant the manifestation is. All right, that's my story for this month. I wrote a lot of different stuff on the alert on the website. It's there. So my website, www.rosemarie.Rubinetti-Cappiello, also under Speaking from Spirit, also under RoRubCap, RoRubCap.com. So any of those lead you to the same place. I am doing appointments. They are all online and through video conference. I do have some time in May and a lot more in June. So that's all on my website too. That's kind of basically it for right now. We have no library events until September, and we actually no live events until September. However, I will be adding some webinars that will be free. So I will send those links in my email. If you're not on my email, go to my website and get on my email. That's kind of it. So I am Ro. And of course, as I always am, I'm wishing you peace.